Here's a rare capture of a lake fawn caught in a hailstorm. And the turkeys, they're moving around awful well after this rain. And all the little animals are working for winter. Welcome, friend. Welcome to the foothills of the Smoky. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here in East Tennessee. Now you can see these ridges are beautiful. They're turning almost at their peak, but not quite. And we've had a little bit of rain. We even had a hailstorm here that I never captured before on the ridge on the camera. But you can see here on the ridge, as I walk this camera line, the oaks are the last to turn, but everything else is turning good. But this little old hailstorm we had beat half the leaves off the trees. The camera managed to catch a few of them on different cameras. Look at that. And some of them with the animals right in the middle of it. But anyway, the old pond, the weeds are gone, laid down, and the little animals had a party. But anyway, hope y'all doing well. Relax, and let's see what's happening this week. The old bucks up on the ridge, they just moseying back and forth. Here's an old buck following a doe around. It's that time of year. And here to get more active as the time goes on. Now here we caught an old hailstorm here at different cameras throughout the woods. It wasn't a heavy hailstorm, just enough to start knocking all the leaves off. And I mean, it come down for a little bit. Lucky to catch this. Never caught this before. But after that's over with, the little animals go back to doing their thing, getting ready for winter. And they're crunching on these anchors. They're laying everywhere, but they won't last long. Everything's eating on them. They're having a good time at it. But the old coyotes, they never let up. They're always around on this ridge, day or night. The turkey, they love it to cool down. And we had a real light frost one morning, just always on the bird. But the turkey, they're on the move. And they're big old birds here on the ridge. And they make some comical pictures every once in a while. And there's a buck walking on the trail there, just moseying around. There's a few of them around, but it's still kind of early here on this ridge. And the little deer herd, they enjoying themselves, feeding on these acorns, browsing. And they can get gone, stop quick too. Now, all I filmed this week, old Dirty Dan out in the woods, just one on the rock trail here. And there's old Yeller coming down a log. And at the acorn pile, Mom and one of her yearlings. But the little ground squirrels, ain't that comical. They're packing them nuts as quick as they can get them. Well, so is the gray squirrel. There's so many to choose from, and they having a great time. They can go through these nuts. It's their time of year. Just so relaxing, just to watch them browse. And down at the stump, there's a little wren, Carolina wren. Ain't it pretty? These birds are here year round. Little songbird. And a little ground squirrel winked at you. They're busy too. But the old squirrels, they're all big. But you gotta watch out. Down at the cut, squirrels always down here prowling through. Them acorns are everywhere. Now here's a hailstone. Look at it, just caught glimpses of it. It's not real heavy. Lucky I caught this on camera. Tearing the leaves off the tree. But after that's over, animals go back to doing their thing. And here at the log, little old Chucky's a packing them away, ain't he, a maker? Ain't he cute? But Ricky runs him off. He wants some of them nuts too. They're so comical. And he wears these acorns out too. I know he'd like to have them walnuts. There ain't no more on the ridge. There's plenty of acorns. Now here's a precious picture of a mommy and a late fawn. Still got spots. Caught in the middle of a hailstorm coming in. It don't know what to do. They're heading for cover, ain't they? And up at the tree, still not much cover up there. It don't know what to take. It's never seen such a thing. But it calms down. It starts raining. Rare to capture these captures like that. You never know what you see on the video. And the turkeys, after that little storm, they're back to browsing the woods. And a buck. But no Dirty Dan come by the tree. Didn't capture him on a camera. And up at the Rock Motel, there's Ricky prowling around after that storm. And there's either Diane, I think, moving around. That's all I caught of them this week. And the little ground squirrels is playing around. Everything's got something to do. At the back door, that looks like old Dirty Dan coming through. They didn't stir much this week. They'll be sleeping pretty soon. Down at the pond, there's Mommy and one of her yearlings there prowling around, browsing. Now the other camera, see the weeds is laid down now. They've finally been beat down in this cold weather. The turkey, they having a good time here, and they share it with the deer too. Just coming and going, with no pressure on. And here's the other camera, the hailstorm on it. It caught a glimpse of it. You know, animals see it beating the leaves off. But after that's over, the little squirrel, he's out prowling. Now, these weeds are down now. You could see the animals browsing through them. Turkey's still eating that grass seed. And there's some big old toms here. Pretty birds. Well, come dark, the old coons is out prowling. on the move. And they gotta go by the community rock there, marking post. But they're on the prowl. That looks like some of the little rascals. They've grown up. They're splitting off. And there's a little old possum. Bugs are slowly going away. That little flying squirrel, quick as lightning. Rare to capture these. These woods are full of them. And that looks like the bachelor group of the bucks. They're not really fighting amongst themselves right now, but there's some big old bucks. There's a young one there, but there's an old big one behind it. They're here. And there's one browsing through the woods. And you know what that is. That's a coyote. No one tell him what he's into. And down to acorn pile, coons enjoying him an evening with some acorns. They're not picky. There's plenty to choose from. And down at the stump, you see them passing through in the background. And a fox. Don't know if that's Freddie or Betty. And at the cut, there's the does moving through the herd. There's a beautiful big buck. He's following them around. He's a nice one, ain't he? And it looks like Sock's moving up the cut, doing his thing. And the coon. Looks like no tail. And at the log, there's a rarity right there. That's a flying squirrel right there. He's getting in on these acorns right here. Ain't he pretty? About the size of a ground squirrel, but quick as lightning. And at the tree, there's old no-tail moving through. Here's a pack of coyotes fooling around the rock motel and the tree. They keep all the little animals run off. They're on the hunt. And all I film at night, well, it looks like old Corkscrew coming in the back door. Them coyotes messed them up. And there's a little possum up on top of the ridge. And there's the coons moving through. They're headed to that pond. It's party time. And the old coyotes, they running around in groups and packs. They keep these animals stirred up. But they wasn't down at the pond this week because the animals had a good time down here at the pond, as you're about to see. There's a fox at the pond. And the coon, they're checking in. What's happening? We're here. Let the party begin. They're running everywhere. And they have to share it with the deer, but they all share. The coons, they claim this place when it comes night, but they share it with the other deer. But they're kind of nervous of each other, but they don't mind. And the deer herd just browsing here at night just as much as they do during the day. Mommy and her young. Of course, they're grown up. Come dawn, they're still here if the coyotes ain't run them off. Grass is still green, but it ain't going to be green long. Enjoying herself. And across the ridge at dawn, the bucks is just browsing through the woods, and the turkey's just off the roost, starting their day. And there's some big old pretty birds here. That's a big hen there. And there's that little yearling fawn. It's born late. It's like a month behind the rest of them. And I hope it does good this winter. But it's time for the little squirrels. The acrobats of the woods. And they're having a time of their life. Get them while you can, old boys. They're just so relaxing to sit and watch them cut. And they're so comical. Well, that's just what stepped in front of the cameras this week, guys. Tune in next week for another chapter of As the Ridge Turns. So glad you enjoyed. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time.